Good evening, everyone, on this August 2nd, 2026. I'm James Frey here, live from Chillicothe, Illinois, and I'm going to do a recap of the invasion of the the two territories in North Africa of the Moroccans. Why it happened? Well, we don't know. Was it a test to find out what could happen? Likely, they were not armed. There were roughly 50,000. Yes, 50,000 or more that crossed the border, across the water, about 3 miles, boats, some swam, I guess. Roughly 57 lives were lost in that attempt. And one officer I heard on one of the territories of Spain was killed, and there was stuff going on. We're going to go through that tonight, and bear with me because I'm going to try to take you through the beginning to the end of it. From what I know right now, I don't know really a latest update. From what I heard, a lot of them did go back to Morocco, but they went over there. They did cause some chaos, and it's just distressing why that happened. And Spain's a sovereign nation, and this is where it happened at Ceuta, and another little village territory, Melilla, here in the northeast corner of Africa. And from there, this is where they go up through the northwest, and they can get into Spain from there. Boats, and that would be like where to go with boats. So was this a test? I don't know. So anyway, bear with me. Like I said, I'm a one-man show here, but I'm going to go ahead. We're going to start these videos, and I'm going to bring to you what I have found. And this first one is in actually Morocco. Now, to me, I think it had to be planned. It had to be funded, because they were ranging an average of 1,200 migrants per hour into these territories of Spain. And this is some of the way they got there. So as you can tell in that one, how they got there, I mean, probably a lot went by other vehicles and stuff, but to have that many fighting young men that went from Morocco into the territory of Spain is just asinine in 24 hours. I still think it had to be funded. It had to be organized in order for that to happen. And this is another video of them coming out of the truck. And as you can tell, there's a Moroccan police officer standing there behind the vehicle. Now, Was part of that a coordination between the Moroccan government? Well, we're going to delve into that too with these what happened and more because it's in these videos of what could have happened. And like I said, was it a trial? I don't know. We're going to go on to this next video here. And this could be one reason.
Clearly a reason why authorities inside Africa are just allowing these people to leave. What are your thoughts?
Well, the interesting thing is that there was a royal pardon yesterday in Morocco where they pardoned 1,700 criminals. Now, were these the criminals that invaded Spain today? We do not know that. But there was a royal pardon where they cleared their jail out of the worst that they had. And of course, they have a vested interest in getting rid of them. We saw the same thing happen in the United States when South America emptied their jails and they sent the criminals into the United States. I think this is exactly what.
Wow. Doesn't that sound familiar when Trump said they were emptying their jails, their criminals out of Venezuela? And nobody said, no, it didn't happen. No, it happened. So here you can see in Morocco, as it stated, they released them. So, and the invasion, it was an invasion during the Biden administration. And we're going to go on with this video
we are watching happen in Spain. And to add to that also, it's a double win for the Moroccans and for the North Africans and for the Islamists. Because remember, Spain used to be Andalusia when the Islamists conquered it and renamed it Andalusia when Islam took control. And now, remember when Theo van Gogh was killed in the Netherlands? His killer posted in the note on his chest, "This is in revenge for Andalusia." We're talking about 550 years ago. And they have always wanted to take it back. They have always wanted to take Spain back because they consider it a part of the Islamic world. So this is by design, whether now or in the future. Their goal is to be able to take Spain back, rename it Andalusia, and declare it back as a part of the Islamic Ummah.
Wow. Wow, wow. Well, Spain's left-wing government recently introduced an emergency pathway to grant legal status to roughly 500,000 undocumented migrants to Blaine. Are the leaders inside the country just looking the other way on this, or have they actually been compromised?
No, they're not only looking the other way, they're actually working in concert with what the World Economic.
And again, you hear the leftists, okay? What's happening here in the United States? The leftists, they want to even open our borders with the DSA, the Democratic Socialist of America. So, I mean, we really need to wake up with what's going on in this United States of America and in the world. I mean, it's sad, but it is what it is. But unfortunately, it is. Now, this is on the island where they landed at, or where they swam across. Some swam across, some took inflatables. And like I said, again, I think roughly 57 may have perished from that attempt. Or well, for them, it wasn't. They attempted it. They just didn't make it, unfortunately. It's sad when there's a loss of lives. But here's that video.
Increíble la situación.
And as you can see, there's no women, there's no children. These are all young-aged men, fighting-aged men. And we had that happen across our southern borders. Many got across that evaded ICE, the Border Patrol, and we don't know where they're at. We don't know anything, you know, all fighting age. I mean, yeah, many did give themselves up to the border the right way, but how many thousands evaded the Border Patrol on our southern border? Replay of that. Not a replay of that, but I'm saying a replay of what happened to our southern border with Biden in office. And here's another video This is the prime minister that did arrive and speak in that city.
Today, some estimates indicate that the official figure is far.
Well, sorry, that's not the prime minister, but I do have a video of that. This is just coverage of the event there.
Perhaps 80 to 100,000 migrants who've crossed into Spanish territory, and this is a vision of America's future if the socialists, the communists, take power in the United States in 2029, because this is exactly what they're going to do: offer an amnesty, have an open border, and you'll see the invasion of the United States. So what is happening in Europe right now is a vision of America's future if the crazy communists, socialists, the far left seize power in the United States. So this is a nightmare scenario, actually, not only for Europe, but also for America as well, if we see these scenes unfolding a few years from now.
So, you know, the thing is, this isn't random. This is Spanish Supreme Court ruled that limited the immediate return of migrants intercepted after reaching Ceuta by sea. And then they had a 2025 program that told undocumented migrants who did not commit crimes, basically, you can stay. So if you're in Morocco living in squalor, you go, this is my chance. I'm going. I'm out of here. The White House says this.
Yes.
President Trump has long warned that Europe that would happen if they continue to implement far-left globalist policy.
So, and when they talk about the socialists here in America, they are talking about the DSA, the Democratic Socialists of America. And if any of you do not know what their platform is, look it up. They want to really abandon the Constitution, rewrite it. They want to abandon Congress. They want to abandon the presidency. They want to have no prisons. They want to defund the police. Look up their platform. I have, and I will be talking about that on another show. I mean, we need to take heed of what's happening in Europe, because what's happening in Europe is starting to happen here in the United States of America. Do you want this country to go that way? Do you want that country to go through what Great Britain's done? Great Britain's in a downfall. Okay. England's in a downfall. Research it. I have. I'm going to do a show about that too. It's Islam. It's the immigration that's happened within the last 8 years. You know, it's really sad that this still happens. This is on the Spanish side. So like I'm saying, I'm trying to take you from the beginning through it until a lot of them did go back. They were forced back, or they went back on their own free will. But this is what I'm trying to do, is give you a recap of that time. This is a woman here, and she's commenting on her Facebook.
Spanish city in northern Africa under concerted attack, there's no other word for it, as migrants stream across the border. And listen to what they're yelling as they do that. Listen to this. Are we done? Are we done pretending? Are we done pretending as they run across yelling Allah Akbar, that these are just...
Wow, Allah Akbar. You know what? That's being said right here in the United States. Right now, it's been said in Dearborn, Michigan. So don't tell me it's not coming here when it's happening there. It's already happened over in Europe. I'll continue the video.
People who want a better life instead of, you know, something to do with conquest in the name of Islam. How much longer are we going to keep our heads in the sand? They're literally running into a Spanish city yelling Allah Akbar as they do so. And there are quite a number of reports coming in. Again, this is a developing story, so I can't confirm anything, that locals are being attacked and that cars are being set on fire by this group of...
And We'll have videos of that coming up too. So they weren't over there peacefully. They may left peacefully, but unless there's just a few agitators in there, we don't know.
You know, people who just want a better life. As we think that this is just some random aggressive invasion, let's not forget that Spain's Supreme Court, because, you know, you can't live in the West without being hamstrung by your own laws, just ruled this past month that anybody intercepted trying to get into these two Spanish territories cannot be returned to their home countries without due process, which is basically like sending up the damn bat signal. So what happens within a couple of weeks of that ruling? You have tens of thousands of quote unquote migrants storming these particular Spanish cities. Socialist government, of course, is still offering no help because they actually want this kind of crap. So I'm going to say something controversial. A lot of people aren't going to like it, but our ancestors, our Christian ancestors, fought long and hard to preserve Christian countries for us to live in. Spain, most especially. They didn't go with the modern, feminized version of Christianity that preaches that we should ignore Christ while rolling over for basically anyone else. This is just a new phase in a very, very, very old war. Frankly, it's a slap in the face to those ancestors as well as complete treason to our descendants to keep letting this happen. You guys know I could go on and on about this, but I don't have to. They're already yelling Allah Akbar as they're streaming across the border.
So again, what's the common word she said? Socialist. We have them right here in our government. They're right in front of your eyes. And like she said, and I tell people, get your head out of the sand and get your head out of your posterior, because that's where it's at. If you want this, what's happening in Europe, what's starting to happen here in the United States, keep your head in the sand, because you're not going to like it when it does happen. If our government and our politicians cannot get together, quit looking on their political side, look out for us American citizens that's born and raised here, or the ones that came from other countries and they lifted up their hand and they swore an oath to this United States of America. It irritates me. Here's the next one.
Clearly a reason why authorities inside Africa are just allowing these people to leave. What are your thoughts?
Well, you know, the interesting thing is that there was a royal pardon yesterday in Morocco.
Sorry about that. We already had that one. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up the next one. But, you know, like I said, you can see what's going on here. This is another gentleman.
They are not invading Europe. Spain. This is happening all over Europe, guys. All over Europe. We're being flooded. We're being invaded. These people are coming to take everything that's yours. Do you think this is normal migration? When I was 10 years old, I migrated from Portugal to America. When I was 15, I migrated from America to England. I know what it's like to be a migrant. You move in search of a better life. You work hard, you pay your taxes. You adapt to the culture. You don't go around raping women and children, murdering people, burning churches to the ground. You adapt. You contribute to society. These people do nothing. These people are coming over with one thing in mind: to replace you, to get rid of you. And it may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, it may not be next week, but when they have enough numbers, that's exactly what they will do. Get them out. This is getting out of control. Your governments have betrayed you. The people in power have betrayed you. They've sold you out. They have one thing in mind, and that is the total destruction of Western civilization and its culture.
That Western civilization includes the United States, if nobody knows that. It's not just not in Europe. Now, think of all those young men of fighting age. What would have happened if they came over or they had weapons in their rubber boats or their rafts with weapons? The citizens of that city would not have been able to defend themselves. The police would not have been able to handle the situation. This is what could have turned into a real catastrophe. And it's sad that it could have done that, but it didn't. Okay, let's go on with another clip. I told you I'm going to bring out the evidence. Your naysayers, I guess, keep your head in the sands. It's up to you.
Quote, totally collapsed. So take a look. Thousands of migrants stormed the Spanish territory of Ceuta. This is on the North African coast after coming by sea from Morocco. It's about a 3-mile swim. And take another look, Trey. Spain's Interior Ministry says the government actually could not declare a national emergency because under Spanish law, migration flows are not considered a national security risk. The head of Ceuta's regional government said today's surge came after more than 1,500 migrants arrived over the past week. Migrant reception centers were already overwhelmed before today. Ceuta authorities previously blamed the surge on a Spanish Supreme Court decision that guarantees due process for illegal migrants arriving by sea. The White House has already reacted to this today, writing, quote, President Trump has long warned Europe what would happen if they continued to implement far-left globalist policies, including enabling mass migration. Spain and other countries who have adopted this destructive philosophy should immediately reverse course or risk their own demise. Spain's socialist government is exceptionally welcoming to migrants and recently launched a program to provide legal status for 500,000 illegal migrants. Here's Nebraska Senator Deb Fischer reacting to it.
If this doesn't wake up the people in this country when they see what an open border is going to cause, they need to tune in and start watching. This is frightening. It's very sobering, but it's also really sad. A lot of people think, oh, we need to open our borders and open our country and offer opportunity to all those who need it.
Now, they're saying at least 50,000 within a 24, a little over 24-hour period came from Morocco. You know that little country of Spain? Their population is maybe 83,000. What happens if they would have not left? How could you take care of almost double your population in a small island country of Spain? You can't. You cannot. What are these people doing that come over here? Where are their parents at? Do they have any? I mean, questions to ponder, because I do. I brought that question up, where are their parents? Here's a bishop speaking out about it.
We're witnessing an invasion. They are not refugees. No, this is an invasion of mass Islamization of Europe. And so this is a global political agenda by the powerful of the world to destroy Europe culturally and religiously. I mean, to destroy Christianity ultimately in Europe.
Ultimately in Europe. That's not where it's going to stop at. It's not going to stop there, because I've been researching on this Islam, the radical Islam, the Muslim Brotherhood. Their goal is to take over the world. The United States is a jewel, and the real jewel is Texas. I tell you what, watch some of these groups that's posting about Islam, what they're doing, what they're talking about, and how they're going to take maybe action in their own hands. Do you want that happening in this country, where you're going to have people shooting? That's like I said, Our government needs to act swiftly on this and stop the insanity before we lose this country. And I'm going to have an Islam show coming up. I'm going to put it all out there because it's just not good. We're going to go on this next one. Now, here's some clashes in the street. And also, like I said, there was one officer killed. There was a woman stabbed, and maybe a guy, from these invaders into that territory of Spain. So anyway, going to be right back. Okay, I made it back as soon as possible. And sorry about that. So anyway, I'm going to continue. Like I said, these videos are going to either wake you up, or it's going to keep your head in the sand, or it's going to keep your head in your posterior. So anyway, I'm going to go on to another one here. And this is another daylight one. So there you go. Now I'm going to bring up these two pictures. It looks like either somebody is stabbed and they're deceased or what, but here's one. Okay. This is from those invaders. There's another one. Is it one of them? I don't know. Okay. You know, look into that. Look and really let that sink into your mind. Okay. I mean, I see stuff like that. It just makes me sick. And then they were trying to break in grocery stores. Here's a video of that. So, you know, here they come over there. They either swam across 3 miles or took the rubber boats over. No money, probably. So how else do you think they're going? And think of how they went to the bathroom. I've seen pictures of it. Yeah, right on the streets, in the little places, off the sidewalks. I mean, think of the cleanup that city has to do of over 5 or 50,000 of them coming in the country, of a population of maybe 83,000. No way to absorb that. No way. And this is a scene at nighttime. Watch it. It reminds me of the riots that we had in LA, or even some of the stuff we have, the anti-ICE this, anti-ICE that. Same damn stuff.
الله يستر لهم شو تضربوها ناري 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 ويلي 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 ويلي
Sickening. That's all I have to say about it. Sickening. Terrible. And here we have our own protesters in the United States doing the same stuff. It's sad. Anyway, I think I have a couple more videos and to try to let you understand what happened over there. And here's another one. So, nighttime, setting fires. Oh, wow. It reminds me of the demonstrations and protests we have in the United States. But yet, the left side does not condone it. They don't condone hate speech from their own imams or from their own Muslims or the Iranians. I mean, not Iranians, the Islamic people here in the United States. There's a Congress lady that will not denounce what they say in Dearborn, Michigan. You see what we're up against. Here's my last video. Now, let that burn in your mind for a little bit. Have you seen that on the legacy news, your regular news stations? Have they talked much about it? I kind of doubt it. Do they talk in depth about it like I do? Do they show you the videos like we do, like podcasters do, trying to enlighten people what's really going on? No. They don't want you to believe one side. So all I can say for right now, until my next show, is God bless you all. God bless this world. And this God bless the United States of America. We need it.